When you need advice, come to Ben and Kelly. It's Group Therapy on 99.7 DJX.
Okay, so Danielle said, hey guys, I'm really at a crossroads with my husband on something, and it's kind of a thing where my friends agree with me and his friends agree with him.
Oh, okay.
I need unbiased opinions, maybe even parenting experts to weigh in. We have two really great kids, ages 11, 14.
Mm-hmm.
They both have phones now. With social media and all the dangers that can bring, we're trying to keep a close eye on who they're talking to and what they're watching. My husband has been going through their phones every night without telling them. I don't feel right about that.
Okay.
Now, we've told them when we gave them the phones that we reserve the right to go through them if we feel we need to.
Sure.
But he's doing it anyway, even though I haven't seen any reason to be alarmed. Is this okay? I feel like we should tell them before we go snooping at their messages and viewing history. Thanks for any guidance you guys can give. Danielle.
I remember when I found a burner TikTok account from my daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Now she was young, and the only thing she was doing on it was doing like makeup tutorials.
Sure.
And she was like kind of like a get ready with me makeup tutorials. It was actually kind of cute.
Yes,
but
still,
it's
what you can view.
Well, yeah.
When you have the app.
The fact that she didn't have permission to have a TikTok account. So, we had to shut that down. But
burn her TikTok account.
She did.
Clever.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, I think she was using it more as like an editing platform to like edit these videos.
Right.
And, it's like, she was probably 9 maybe?
Yeah.
And so anyways, so we had to shut that down. But yeah, I mean, well,
how'd you find out about it? Were you snooping? Or did she tell you? I'm guessing she didn't tell you if it was a burner account.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how. I think one of her other sisters told on her.
Okay. So
I think that was kind of the thing, like, hey, Zoe's got this. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to name check. Anyways, but yeah, so, I mean, that was a thing. I mean, she's fine now. And we do, like you, Danielle, have the rule where it's like, hey, these are a privilege.
Right.
We can take
like things are suspect. We can look. We
can take them.
Yeah.
And we can, you cannot have them anymore. Now, I've got 2 older daughters that, we don't do that anymore because they
don't live.
Yeah, they're out of the
anymore.
house and all that stuff. But, that's an interesting. Do you snoop without them knowing? I almost like the fact that it's like, hey, know that at any time we can grab and ask for your phone, and then randomly you've got to actually do that. You guys say, hey.
Random check.
Yeah.
It's like a random checkpoint.
Right, exactly. It's like a DUI checkpoint on the side of the road, or a random drug test at a place of work where could happen at any time. You just don't know. Hey, hand over your phone. Let's see it. And we've done that before.
Yep.
And
Lisa says I don't even have to hear it. Get all up in their business, especially in socials. When my son was in high school, I logged into his Facebook. He had grown women, some of whom were our friends, messaging him some very not so mom-like messages.
Interesting.
Wow.
All right. So if you've got a good, I guess, rule of thumb when it comes to that, maybe that can help Danielle, especially talk to her husband about it.
Yeah.
Or
the whole issue here is it okay to snoop without them knowing?
Right.
Or do you need to give them fair warning, like, hey, we need to go through your phone and just make sure nothing is going on that shouldn't be?
I mean, honestly, I don't dislike either method.
Okay, so you're fine with just taking the phone without them knowing and sifting through it?
Yep.
Okay.
But that's me, Anyways, 502-795-1997. That is our number. Love to hear your stories about this coming up on 99.7 DJX Therapy. We're in the middle of group therapy, and Danielle reached out, and she's going through it with her husband and their kids because her husband has been going through their phones every night. She has 11 and 14-year-olds without telling them, right? And she didn't feel right about it. She's like, I feel like we should
tell them.
We should tell them.
Snooping.
Exactly. So is there some sort of middle ground? And a lot of people are just saying, look, you got to go through them. You got to go through the phones. Now,
everyone's saying check anytime.
Yeah. I like Shirley, who texted in, who said, I always prefer to just ask for their phone and make them sit there and watch me go through it. The look of terror is just amazing.
Yes. And knowing that could happen at any time, hopefully will keep them from watching, looking at things that they shouldn't, texting things that they shouldn't to friends. Mm-hmm. And if they know that could happen, Rachel said when my son was 13 and we got him his phone, we also told him that we will be going through his phone and we would just ask for it and go through it when he was with us. I figure if we want our kids to be truthful and honest with us, we need to show that to him as well.
And there are several people that are like, there are controls available for certain phones. I know Google has like a kids setting where you can restrict access to certain websites, to certain apps, and certain things like that. I mean, another thing that no one ever thinks about is, hey, if you get an app and let them download like a fun game and it's attached to maybe your gaming account, they can just buy things.
Yes.
Right. Or
shut
Amazon.
Yes.
Or Amazon app, right?
You can put settings, though, right. Where they have to ask for permission before they buy anything, any app or anything. Angie texted, I would randomly check my daughter's. My number one thing was that I knew her passwords.
Right.
If I didn't know one, her phone would be taken away. I found multiple Facebook accounts. People are crazy anymore. You've got to protect your kiddos.
For sure.
That being said, I don't think he needs to do it every night, just randomly, and you need to tell him.
I like the randomness of it, and I like being upfront with telling them, hey, this can happen at any time, and then actually doing it.
Yes, and having them watch you go through it, I think, so that you can ask them about certain things if you feel like you need to ask questions.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's a middle ground, Danielle, that you're searching for.
Yeah, but maybe say, yes, I agree that we need to look, but let's have them be a part of that so that they are fully aware and on the same page. We're looking through your stuff, so you better make sure that you're not texting anything you shouldn't or watching anything you shouldn't.
And so many times you hear, you trust your own kids.
Right.
You just don't trust everybody else.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think sometimes that's a thing where I have found, messages from others with things that I didn't approve of. Mm-hmm. And then you have to talk to your kids about that. And then hopefully they'll talk to your friends about, hey, don't send me that stuff.
All right, there you go. Hopefully that helps. Keep us posted. That is Group Therapy.